You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
Back to your country.
A racist tirade on a bus, all caught on camera and gone viral. Plus, with temps on the rise this summer, it's important to keep an eye on your pets in all this heat. And here's one for a Friday. He is known as a coconut boy for that gift right there. Able to open a coconut using just his mouth. We're going to have the story behind this bizarre talent and what his dentist has to say. We have those stories plus your weekend forecast. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. And good morning to you on this Friday morning. Ray Collins is on vacation. I'm Stephanie Webb, holding down the fort today. We had some big storms and a lot of rain roll in last night. Will it all continue today, John Scalzi?
Well, we're kind of in a transition today where we're going to see more of the storminess in inland areas. We started to see that develop yesterday. We did have one cell that moved toward Gulf waters. That was near Venice area. It produced some pretty good rainfall, too. Today, I think we're likely to see the possibility of a brief morning shower. But then more and more, most of the showers that we see later in the afternoon are going to be in inland areas, and that trend keeps us into the weekend, really takes us into the weekend. We have right now on radar a few scattered showers out here in the Gulf, nothing that's made it on land quite yet, but we certainly may. We have some showers just offshore that are producing some pretty decent rainfall. We will develop a fairly strong westerly wind today, which will push the showers into inland locations, and the sea breeze will be vigorous. We're also watching a couple of systems, one with a good chance of developing and some question marks on where it might be headed, and another, the second named system of the year, Beryl. We'll be talking about that in detail as well. Forecast for us today calls for about a 30% chance of showers maxing out, 20% by around 3 p.m. We'll talk all about the forecast and where those showers will be coming up in a few.
All right, thank you so much, John. Well, all this rain has continued to cause chaos for drivers trying to navigate those flooded streets in the area. FDOT says they are working on a solution. Flooding is pretty common right here on 41 and 10th Street in Sarasota, as you can see right there. But yesterday's flood was made worse by debris that was clogging the drainage system.
Anything floatable or plastic or trash is just picked up instead of washed away with the rain.
FDOT says it's working on cleaning out all that debris in the drainage system, as well as checking on pumps to make sure that nothing has been damaged in the past few days. And here you go. We're going to take a live look from Moat Marine, where they're going to be hosting the 5th annual Sarasota Lionfish Derby today. The annual event challenges scuba divers to harvest the invasive species. Then here's the twist. Top local chefs will serve it up for the public. The Derby kicks off today and it runs throughout the weekend. And right now, let's check out and take a look at those first alert traffic that is going on out there today. So far in Manatee, the roads are running pretty decent. Not too much going on out there. Do have one little delay right there on Cortez off of 41, but other than that, not too much going on in Manatee. Then in Sarasota County, those roads are not looking too bad. We do have a couple delays on 41 as you go around the bay, but nothing really of note. And then a little bit farther south in the area, if you're headed toward Port Charlotte or the Punta Gorda area, both 75 and 41 are running pretty smooth at this time. So no real concerns right there. Well, we are in the thick of summer, and you know what that means. It is hot, 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 way too hot to leave your pets in the car while you run errands, even if it's just for a few minutes. ABC 7's Marla Spence joins us now live with what experts are saying can happen in those few moments that your pet is left alone in a hot car. Marla?
Hey Stephanie, good morning. You know, it sounds like common sense, but believe it or not, many people leave their pets in their car and they still take their pets along with them for errands, knowing that they'll just leave their pets in their car. And experts say that that should not happen and they should consider leaving their pets at home before they run those errands. Now, according to the American Veterinary Medical Association, hundreds of pets die from heat exhaustion because they're left parked in cars even with the windows cracked. Now, according to the association, the temperature inside your vehicle can rise almost 20 degrees above the temperature outside in just 10 minutes. So if you left your pet in your car for 10 minutes in 90-degree weather outside, the temperature inside your car can rise to 110 degrees, whether the windows are cracked or not. Now, by doing this, you can put your pet at risk for serious illness or even death, even on a day that doesn't seem hot to you. Now, we spoke to one animal expert here on the Suncoast, and we asked what's the maximum temperature a pet could stay in a parked car, and here's what he had to say.
Actually, the answer to that is never to leave your pet in the car at all. I think that it's just really important to leave your pet at home or find out some other alternative. It's never a good idea to leave a pet in a vehicle unattended.
And coming up at 5:30, we're telling you some signs and symptoms of heat exhaustion in a pet and what you can do if you see a pet left alone in a hot parked car. Back to you, Stephanie.
All right, thank you so much, Marla. Well, pollution may be to blame for the murky waters in a lake on Holmes Beach. People who live here are frustrated with what has happened to Spring Lake, which is between 68th Street and 70th Street near Palm Avenue. Now, residents say back in 2015, 22,000 gallons of sewage from a pipe that Manatee County owns spilled into that lake, killing hundreds of the fish there.
This used to be a beautiful area, and the fish and the birds and everything were just good to look at. Now we don't even look out our backyard because it butts our property. It's right there, and there's 20 or so houses that have to deal with the same issue.
And many who live here want environmental experts to get involved and help figure out a solution for the lake. No one from the city of Holmes Beach or Manatee County could be reached for a comment. And just days after a violent home invasion on Holmes Beach, police are starting a new voluntary home security program there. Police are asking homeowners who have surveillance cameras to join a database and help fight crime in the city. Now, police say officers will not be able to access any of that video unless you give them permission. Now, if you want to sign up, you can contact the Holmes Beach Police Department. And the crackdown on opioid abuse continues. A new state law now in effect will make it harder for doctors to prescribe opioids for more than 3 days at a time. Now, doctors can only prescribe Schedule II opioids like hydrocodone for 3 days at a time or 7 days in some special cases. Doctors will also have to check a state database of controlled substance history for every patient that they do prescribe them to. This could mean more doctor visits and higher healthcare costs initially for patients.
At the beginning, there's no question there is going to be more work, but we have to do something anyway, and we are all in the middle of this situation, and a little bit of work is going to be okay.
Now, these prescription limits are only for treating acute pain, like from surgery or an illness. People with chronic pain aren't affected by the new law. A family on vacation to Florida is thankful for some quick-thinking first responders who were on vacation themselves for saving their daughter who almost drowned in a pool. Daytona Beach police say 2 first responders, a New York State trooper, and a firefighter were both staying at the hotel and were able to save the 3-year-old little girl before paramedics arrived.
Got her out, was able to get some water and fluids out of her to get her to start breathing.
Now, the little girl who lives in Daytona Beach with her family told police that she doesn't remember how or why she ended up in the pool because she is afraid of water. Well, caught on camera, a Lakeland man is recovering this morning after a severe fireworks accident cost him part of his hand on the 4th of July. Security footage shows 35-year-old Jonathan Soto holding a mortar-style firework in his left hand when it appeared to shoot off and ignite a second time in his hand. Now, Soto was taken to Lakeland Regional with injuries to his hand and his chest. He even ended up having to undergo emergency heart surgery that night as well. Polk County Sheriff's Office released a video of the incident warning against drinking and shooting off fireworks. So did you know that the 4th of July is the #1 day of the year when pets go missing or get lost? It is. Well, animals often run away because they get scared of all the fireworks and the noise and the commotion. So you can only imagine just how busy those first few days after the 4th can get for local animal shelters.
We're hoping to reunite them with their owners. When a pet comes into our facility, we take a picture of them, put them on our website, and we anticipate to see more come in throughout the day.
Now, if you are a pet owner, make sure that your pets are tagged or microchipped every day so they can be returned to you faster. And if you do see a lost pet, you can always call Animal Services to report it for them to pick up. And if you're looking to get a pet, adoptions are only $4 until Saturday at the Manatee County Animal Shelter in Palmetto. Why? Well, they say they have reached critical capacity with more than 300 animals at the shelter. They're also offering free waived adoptions for both first responders and veterans through July 31st. And they're also offering senior discounts through December 31st. Want to get to know the Sarasota police a little bit better? Well, here's your chance. They're hosting Custard with a Cop tomorrow at the Culvers on University Parkway from noon until 3. There's going to be activities for your kids, and it's your chance to get all your pressing questions answered from the police department. All right, Movie Pass users, listen up. In-demand times and movies are going to cost you a little bit more. The app announced peak pricing on Thursday. For $10 a month, customers can now see a movie per day, one movie per day, but that bargain price will not apply to all of the titles and all of the times. For example, a night showing of the latest blockbuster movie could cost users a few extra dollars to book, and Movie Pass will tip customers off to when that surge pricing might be added for a particular movie. Now, the company pays for users' tickets, so it's running out of money and needs to find a way to make up for some of those losses, although Movie Pass hasn't commented on the reason for all of that peak just yet. Well, still to come on Good Morning Suncoast, it is a racist rant that has gone viral and even led to the arrest of the woman in the story. We've got the story for you straight ahead. And then later in the hour, did you know that the 4th of July is the #1 day of the year that pets go missing? Well, animal shelters are swamped in the days after the holiday with pets that have now been found. And right now, here's a live shot out of Atlanta, Georgia, and somewhere Ray Collins on vacation is crying because he's missing talking about his favorite Ferris wheel of all times. That is a live look at Atlanta. Right now, let's head back here to the Suncoast for a little briefing with John Scalzi on what today's going to be like here.
Yep, so we are looking at some very quiet conditions outside right now. We got a tower cam for us? No? Well, anyway, the winds today will be out of the west, bringing us showers that go into inland areas, producing most of our rainfall in that location. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in a few.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
Is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 78.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
The 73-degree air temperature. We have a dew point value coming in at 72, an east-southeast wind coming in at 7, and 96% relative humidity. It's going to be another sticky day out there with heat indexes again approaching the 100-degree mark. Nothing different there. Lots of star shine, but we also have some fair weather clouds. So as we go through the day, here's what I think we're going to be seeing. A fairly quiet condition by 7 a.m., 74 degrees. Might pick up an isolated shower near the coastline by 12 noon, but really our rain chance is pretty minimal at about 10%. 30% chance by 3 p.m., but that'll be mostly in inland areas, and those showers will tend to be pushed further and further away from the coast. Although this is kind of a transition day, so the winds are going to be fairly light today. 20% chance of showers by 7 p.m. Again, those are mostly going to be in inland areas. Right now, we've had some pretty good coverage during the last 18 hours. We had some showers pop up near the coastline that kind of stayed in place for the longest time, then a few of them back-built toward Venice, and they got some rainfall there. Otherwise, a lot of the coastal regions stayed pretty dry during the overnight. We've got the leftover remnants of those showers out in Gulf waters right now, producing some thunderstorm activity. These will gradually die out in place. Then as we develop a wind that's onshore, the sea breeze beginning to build, we'll see a few showers near the coast begin to develop later in the afternoon. A little bit of cloud cover across the region. That cloud cover is quiet. It's not producing rainfall. We also have some breaks in the clouds, so we'll see a fair amount of sunshine as dawn breaks here on the Suncoast. Looking out into the Atlantic, now this is not correct. It is not a tropical storm any longer. As of 5 a.m., it just turned into a hurricane, the first hurricane of the season. Chance for formation of this system closer to the coast, anywhere from 40 to 50%. And we'll have to watch that one. There was certainly some thought initially that what we would see is that system picked up and carried away, but it may linger there a bit longer. Okay, Hurricane Beryl, 75-mile-an-hour winds. A tiny little storm located about 3,800 miles away from us. Forecast to drift to the east initially, becoming perhaps a little stronger today. Then it's going to encounter some stronger winds as it moves toward the Leeward Islands. By Monday, it'll probably be a minimal tropical storm, and then as it moves into the Caribbean, probably begin to fall apart pretty quickly. But we're going to keep an eye on it, and there's a lot of uncertainty still in that system. Another reminder that we are in hurricane season and need to keep an eye on these things. They can pop up and become strong pretty quickly. High pressure over the weekend builds to our south. As it does that, we develop this westerly wind flow, and that tends to take showers that build inland and push them toward the other coast out into the Atlantic waters. So that pattern brings us a chance at a morning shower near the coast and then pushes everything inland by later in the day. Mostly sunny start, building afternoon storms, and most of the storms will form in inland areas. Forecast looks like this for today. Southwest wind turning west at about 5 knots. Light, kind of variable winds out there. And the forecast over the weekend, 30% chance of rain showers today, 20% for Saturday, maybe 30% for Sunday. Those showers near the coast in the morning move inland in the afternoon. And as we head into next week, a pretty typical kind of summer feel to the afternoons each and every day. Starting about Tuesday, a 30 to 40% chance of rain. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much, John. Let's jump and take a look at your first alert traffic out there. Not too much going on this morning. Do have some slowdowns right there on State Road 70 in Manatee County. Then in Sarasota County, those roads aren't looking too bad just yet either. Do have some slowdowns on 41 as you come around the bay, but again, not too much going on there either. If you're heading a little farther south in the area, 75, 41, both of those are running pretty smooth. We do have one spot right there to tell you about on 75. We've got an accident that is on 75. If we can pull that up real quick, it's around the Northport area. If we don't have it right now, we'll have it for you in just a moment. That is your first alert traffic at 5:19. All right, well, moving on. It is a racist rant that has gone viral. Police arrested 59-year-old Ann Messiano for a second time on Thursday after reviewing video of a rant on a bus last weekend. Now, she was also arrested for disorderly conduct immediately after the ride, but at the time, police didn't know everything that had happened on board the bus that day. Now, not yet everything is known about the case, so there could be some more charges. Reporter Ayanna Harry spoke to the man who recorded it all on his cell phone.
Love you. I love all you illegal immigrants. You
You do wonders for our country.
A baffling, bizarre ride.
Back to your country.
A racist tirade on a Rockland County bus. This video was recorded Saturday afternoon by fellow passenger Vladimir. Tonight, he's speaking out to Pix 11.
Some people were scared, especially the elderly people.
You and people, okay? Get the out of my country.
The county bus was in Orangetown, New York. Vladimir says as soon as the woman got on, she started arguing with the bus driver.
Did anyone do anything to provoke her?
No.
Next, she lashed out at everyone else, using racial slurs for Latinos and African Americans again and again.
First of all, mother, in this country, we have what's called the First Amendment rights, okay? Which I can say whatever the I want.
When the ranting racist realized Vladimir was recording,
what are you taping me?
she attacked.
She tried to knock the phone out my hand and she started choking me at one point.
The bus driver called to Orangetown police. The woman was kicked off the bus and became combative. She was arrested for her disorderly conduct with the police officers. Today, investigators from the Rockland County Sheriff's Office spoke with Vladimir. More charges may be coming against the woman for what happened during that bus ride.
All right, still to come on Good Morning Suncoast. If you're looking to meet your mate, you're in luck. Tinder is offering some brand new features. We're going to tell you what's new in today's Tech Bites. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast right here on ABC 7.
Judy here, I think hospice was a tremendous source of support for her.
Absolutely. With Jennifer and Kimberly and Liza's constant contact with us, coming in, just knowing that there was someone with knowledge there to back us up, to answer our questions, it made a world of difference.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook.
Welcome back. It is 5:24, and they call him Coconut Boy, and he might be a dentist's retirement plan. The reason is obvious. He uses his mouth, as you can see right here, for a job that normally requires a hammer, peeling off the husk of a coconut with his teeth. In fact, he can peel it, crack it, and drink the milk in 10 seconds flat. In fact, he can do 6 of those in a minute. I don't know what to do with that kind of talent, but I wish I had it. Tinder is offering something new for its users as they try to figure out who their Mr. or Mrs. Right may be. ABC's Candace Gibson and Maggie Rulli have that and more in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bite, Tinder's new video feature. It's called Tinder Loops.
It allows users of the dating app to upload 2-second looping videos to their profiles. Tinder's also expanding the number of images you can post, which means a loop will not take the place of an existing photo.
Apple is reportedly set to bring a little more color to its iPhone lineup.
Reports say the company will release 3 new iPhones this year in 3 sizes, but the smallest and the cheapest will reportedly come in gray, white, blue, red, and orange. You got the whole rainbow. And today is the second birthday of Pokemon Go, that addictive game that took over the summer of 2016.
As such, new versions of Pikachu and Pichu will appear in the game as part of the celebration. Both of them will also start appearing more frequently from today through the end of the month.
I'm ready.
You're ready? Good.
We're still in it. Those are your Tech Bites.
Have a good day.
Tech Bites, sponsored by Lyrica.
To most people, I look like most people. But on the inside, I feel chronic, widespread pain. Fibromyalgia may be invisible to others, but my pain is real.
Fibromyalgia is thought to be caused by overactive nerves. Lyrica is believed to calm these nerves.
I'm glad my doctor prescribed Lyrica.
For some, Lyrica delivers effective relief from fibromyalgia pain and improves function. Lyrica may cause serious allergic reactions, suicidal thoughts, or actions. Tell your doctor right away if you have these, new or worse depression, unusual changes in mood or behavior, swelling, trouble breathing, rash, hives, blisters, muscle pain with fever, tired feeling, or blurry vision. Common side effects: dizziness, sleepiness, weight gain, swelling of hands, legs, and feet. Don't drink alcohol while taking Lyrica. Don't drive or use machinery until you know how Lyrica affects you. Those who've had a drug or alcohol problem may be more likely to misuse Lyrica.
With less pain, I can do more.
Ask your doctor about Lyrica. If you're eligible, you could pay as little as $25 a month.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind Your Meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. It's gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
The ABC7 First Alert weather app just got even better. It's easy to use once you download it. First, tell the app to follow you, so you get alerts pinpointed to exactly where you are. Then customize your settings with all the places you go, from the beach to grandmother's house. Get accurate alerts for everyone you care about. You can even pick which weather alerts and categories you want and what they sound like. More ways to customize and more ways to keep your family safe. Download the ABC7 First Alert weather app today.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
Breaking overnight, a former Thai Navy SEAL has died trying to save the soccer players and their coach trapped inside that flooded cave. We're going to tell you what happened. Plus, this Florida heat can leave your car feeling like an oven on the hottest of days. We're going to tell you what you need to do to keep your pets from getting heat stroke while in the car. And it is the first of its kind, a revolutionary new theme park designed especially for those with autism. We have those stories plus your weekend forecast. It's all right now on Good Morning Suncoast. And good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us on this Friday morning. TGIF, I'm Stephanie Webb. Ray Collins is on vacation today. We had a lot of storms that was rolling through last night and some flooding over the last few days. What's on tap for today, John Scalzi?
You know, I think we could see another round of some heavier rainfall, but most of that is going to be located in inland locations away from the coast because we are in kind of a pattern change situation right now. We have had an easterly wind flow that kept the showers close to the coastline. Now we're going to start with an opposite wind flow, a west wind flow coming in off Gulf waters, moving toward the Atlantic. It will take most of the activity and push it inland and toward the other coast. That'll really start kicking in tomorrow. Today's kind of a transition day, but I still think with our light winds, we'll see most of the activity inland. We have some leftover boundaries creating showers out in Gulf waters, even a few thunderstorms out there. We'll watch those thunderstorms dissipate through the morning hours, and maybe a few pop up near the coastline as we head into the later morning, early evening. Those showers were early afternoon. Those showers will then begin to move into inland areas by afternoon and late afternoon. The sky cover, well, we had a little bit of cloud cover around, of course, with those storms yesterday, and some residual cloud cover still lingers across the Suncoast, but we also have some breaks in those clouds that are providing us with some nice conditions as well as dawn breaks on the Suncoast. Chance for formation of this cluster of clouds is high at about 50% over the next several days, and it may meander out here for several days. We're going to watch that one carefully. And the first hurricane of the 2018 season has formed a good distance from us, about 2,800 miles or so away from us. We'll talk about its effect on our weather, the United States weather, and what will become of it coming up in just a few.
All right, thank you so much, John. All right, and here's a live look right now. It's a live look at Moat Marine, where they're going to be hosting the 5th annual Sarasota Lionfish Derby. Kicks off today. The annual event challenges scuba divers to harvest the invasive species, and then some top local chefs will be serving it up for the public. The Derby officially kicks off today, and it runs throughout the weekend. And right now, let's check out some of your first alert traffic out there on the roads this morning. So far, not too bad in Manatee County. We do have a couple slowdowns on State Road 70, but that is about it so far. Then in Sarasota County, those roads aren't looking too bad just yet. There's just a couple delays as you go around the bay, but not too bad. And then if you go to a little bit farther south in the area towards Punta Gorda or the Port Charlotte area, we do have one accident to tell you about right there on 75. If we can pop that up here real quick, we'll tell you what it is. It's near the Northport area. It's I-75. There's an accident in the northbound lane at exit 182, which is Sumter Boulevard. So if you're headed that way, make sure you give yourself a few extra minutes. It is 5:33, and that is your first alert traffic. And President Trump is in New Jersey after campaigning for Republicans in Montana. He took aim at the media just a few days after a deadly shooting in a Maryland newsroom and even took on the Me Too movement. All this just hours after his embattled EPA Director Scott Pruitt resigned. ABC's Janae Norman has all the details.
President Trump rallying Republicans in deep red Montana, taking aim at the media less than a week after a deadly shooting in a Maryland newsroom.
Because some of the finest people I know are journalists, really. But 75% of those people are downright dishonest.
The president reviving what some have called an offensive nickname for Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren.
Let's say I'm debating Pocahontas, right?
Over her past comments about her Native American heritage.
I will take, you know those little kits they sell on television for $2? Learn your heritage. We will take that little kit and say, but we have to do it gently. Because we're in the Me Too generation, so we have to be very gentle.
President Trump, who's been accused of sexual misconduct, hitting the Me Too movement, even mocking an iconic member of his own party, 94-year-old George H.W. Bush, and his 1,000 Points of Light theme for volunteerism.
Putting America first, we understand. 1,000 points of light. I never quite got that one. I'm trying to say, what the hell is that?
The controversial comments come hours after his embattled EPA chief resigned. Scandal-plagued Scott Pruitt faces at least a dozen investigations across multiple government agencies and was repeatedly accused of using his position for personal benefit.
I'm not happy about certain things, but he's done a fantastic job running the EPA.
President Trump's jab at the Me Too movement comes as his administration added former Fox News co-president Bill Shine to his communications team. Shine has been accused by some of covering up sexual misconduct claims against Roger Ailes and Bill O'Reilly, both men President Trump defended. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
All right, thank you so much. Well, we are in the thick of summer, and you know what that means. It is hot. It is way too hot to leave your pets in the car while you run errands, even if it's just for a few minutes. ABC 7's Marla Spence joins us now live with what the experts are saying can happen in just those few minutes that your pet is left alone in a hot car. Marla?
Hey, Stephanie, you know, animal experts say this summer not to leave your pets in your car, just to leave them at home instead of taking them along with you to your errands, to places like grocery stores or even the post office. Those experts say most times people just end up leaving their pets inside parked hot cars with the windows cracked, but those experts also say that's not enough. Temperatures can still rise and cause serious illness or even death. It sounds like common sense, but believe it or not, many pet owners still leave their pets in hot parked cars. According to the American Veterinary Medical Association, the temperature inside your car can rise almost 20 degrees above the temperature outside in just 10 minutes. So if you left your pet in your car for 10 minutes in 90-degree weather, the temperature inside your car can rise to 110 degrees whether the windows are cracked or not. Now, according to the Veterinary Medical Association, hundreds of pets die of heat exhaustion, and one animal expert explains some of the signs and symptoms of heat exhaustion and what you can do if you witness a dog in an unattended car.
Their gums will become pale, they're going to act really lethargic. You need to seek medical attention right away, get them to a vet immediately. It's very, very serious. And as for pets that are left in unattended vehicles, we recommend that people contact law enforcement immediately, to call them on your cell phones and get someone to that vehicle right away, because it really only takes minutes for an animal to die in a hot car.
And remember, Florida law makes it legal to break into a hot car to save a pet. Stephanie, have actually witnessed this at firsthand, when I was at the sheriff's office in Manatee County, where someone actually left their pet inside a parked car with all the windows up. And needless to say, out of all places, that wasn't a smart idea for that pet owner. Back to you.
No, absolutely not. Some good advice right there, Marla. Thank you so much. Well, did you know that the 4th of July is the #1 day of the year when your pets go missing or get lost? It is true. Animals run away often because they get scared of all the fireworks and the stimulus and the noise. So you can only imagine just how busy those first few days after the 4th can get for local animal shelters. Now, they receive plenty of phone calls from people frantically trying to track down their lost pets. But officials say a phone call isn't always enough or even the best way to find your four-legged friends.
If there is a humane society or any of the shelters that are in that area, instead of just calling, go there and look for your dog. Because what I might think is a beagle might not be what you think is a beagle.
And Cree says the best thing that a pet owner can do is to get their pet microchipped. That way shelters can find out who those animals belong to. Well, experts say that students taking out federal loans for the upcoming school year can expect higher interest rates. Now, some of those rates are going up 0.5%, meaning that students who get those loans next fall will have to pay back a couple of $1,000s more than before. Now, certified financial planner Gary Silverman says that the reason behind this rate increase is due to Treasury bonds and the amount of money that the government is borrowing.
They're basing it on whatever it costs them to borrow money. And plus, they stack a rate on top of that, depending whether you're going for a bachelor's degree or a master's degree or whatever. So, so that base rate, that Treasury bond rate, has gone up.
Now, Silverman also says that federal loans do tend to be a little cheaper than private ones. He also recommends that students keep in mind just how much they're going to be earning in terms of what they're going to be making when they get out of college and figuring out just how much they need to borrow. Again, the interest rate rise only applies to students getting loans after July 1st. Well, it is a race against time and the weather for rescuers in northern Thailand. 12 boys and their football coach remain trapped inside that flooded cave. It's 13 days now. A source with the Thai Navy SEAL said it is too dangerous to move the team out just yet. A doctor's report says at least 2 of the boys and their coach are exhausted and are undernourished. They also risk a lengthy and difficult journey if they try and leave with divers. But all that rain could mean more flooding and a change of plans. Diving equipment is already ready in the case of a quick exit. And a former Thai Navy SEAL has died while trying to save that team trapped inside the cave. The diver reportedly died when he ran out of air while trying to place backup oxygen tanks in the cave. His death is a reminder of just how dangerous this rescue will be. Now, they risk a long journey. One of the options that they're doing is having the divers themselves try to swim the students out underwater one by one. But there's more rain that's on the way that could mean more flooding in that cave. Well, if you are making plans to hit the Venice Farmers Market this weekend, heads up, it will not be in its usual spot. Due to a major construction project in downtown Venice, this Saturday, the Farmers Market there is going to open at its usual time on Park Avenue, west of City Hall. It runs from 8 a.m. until noon that day. And still to come, a life-changing adventure for many across the world. The first autism center opened its doors. How it's impacting kids across the country already. Absolutely amazing. And a lot of weather that is impacting people here across the Suncoast. Right, John Scalzi?
Indeed. A westerly wind flow will develop again today, and for red tide sufferers, could be a problem once again. We do have the latest reports from Moat Marine, which indicate Nokomis southward having some respiratory irritants in the air due to the red tide bloom. The purple color indicates the most concentrated amounts, and there it's in the moderate range. No intense indications today. That's good news. We did have some intense locations over the last several days. Those have somewhat declined. We're looking at clear, sunny skies near the beach for your beach walk forecast this evening. Sunset quality will be 4 beach balls out of 4. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in a few.
Our nurse, Jennifer, all we did is pick up the phone if I was having a bad day, and the next thing we know, she was here at the door. I can't believe that I would have received any greater care anywhere. From that moment on, everything changed dramatically, and I don't know what we would have done without that.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Me, pick me. Oh, come on, man. Oh, man, I love technology. Hey, check out my new phone. Look at this right here. For years, the DeSoto Club has needed improvements. Join me and Boys and Girls Club of Manatee County as we raise money to build a brand new facility. It will be bigger and better, just like it was 40 years ago when I attended. Invest in kids. Build great futures.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're looking at a temperature that's coming in sticky at 73 degrees. We have a dew point value of 72 and fairly quiet conditions out there. Clear skies over a lot of the area. Some places seeing a little bit of residual cloud cover from yesterday's storminess. As we head through the morning hours, we'll look at temperatures beginning to climb up to about 74 degrees by 7 a.m., 88 degrees by 12 noon, and there'll be a slight chance at a shower near the coastline by that time. Some of those showers will produce some brief periods of heavy downpours, but mostly that will be in inland areas. Later in the afternoon, around 3 o'clock, we'll see a 30% chance of storms building inland at that point, and those will be moving away from the coastline, leaving about a 20% chance in inland areas later in the day, while the coast remains quiet, 85 rather, by about 7 p.m. Big storms built yesterday drifted out into the Gulf, and some residual boundaries set up have produced some fairly heavy rainfall out there currently. For boaters located offshore, this cluster of storms producing some heavy seas, of course, in and around this area. A special marine warning issued for those storms. They're a long way away from us, and you probably can't even see the lightning or cloud tops from our coastline. They're that far out. But nevertheless, for boaters heading in that direction, it is worth taking note. Those showers should eventually die out as we begin the sea breeze circulation later this morning into the early afternoon. And then we'll watch the showers build in inland areas once again today. A cluster of clouds just off the Atlantic coast has about a 50% chance of developing over 5 days. We'll watch this. Computer models suggested that it would be picked up by a frontal boundary and kind of whisked out into the open waters. But there are some indications now that maybe that won't happen, and maybe it will just meander out here for several days, perhaps strengthening a bit. So it bears watching. Right now it has no impact on our weather and no immediate concern for us, but we need to watch it. Further out in the Atlantic, and I mean a lot further out, about 2,800 miles away, we have Hurricane Beryl, the first hurricane of the Atlantic season. Again, that system also not having much of an impact on anyone except the Lesser Antilles and perhaps Leeward Islands as well. 75-mile-an-hour winds currently forecast to strengthen a little over the next 24 hours, then decrease in strength, and by the time it hits the island chain on Monday, it will most likely contain just some gusty winds and a lot of rainfall. We'll watch it as it continues to move into the Caribbean, but this will not be a favored place for development. Even though water temperatures are good, upper level winds are hostile, so we'll probably see the system eventually just dissipate away as we head into early next week. Southwest wind at about 5 knots for us today, becoming more westerly and onshore in the afternoon. 2-foot seas, light chop. Should be a nice day for boating in the afternoon, particularly after we get rid of these morning showers. Forecast for the next couple of days. Daytime highs of about 90 will do it. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday we develop this west wind, which favors morning showers near the coast. Everything pushed inland by afternoon. And next work week we'll keep in that 30 to 40% chance of rain. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, John. Let's take a look outside and check out your first alert traffic. We're going to start right here in Manatee County, but not too much is going on, so we want to skip right down to the southern part of Sarasota, where we do have an accident that's right there on 75. We're telling you about that before. On I-75 northbound, there's an accident at exit 182, which is Sumter Boulevard. Again, that's exit 182, and that's in the northbound lane. So if you're traveling in that direction, that's one thing that you want to keep your heads on. All right, 549, that is your first alert traffic. And moving on, for families that have kids with autism or other special needs, a summer vacation can be really tough to plan. But now, one theme park in Pennsylvania has become the first to be designated as a certified autism center. Here's a story.
has to get a picture, a high five, and then he's on to the next guy. My name is Jerry Turning. We're at Sesame Place. We're here because this is my son's favorite place on the whole planet. My son, his name is Eric. He's 14. He was diagnosed with autism. For some reason, my son connected with Sesame Place. He loves the characters. He loves the energy here.
That's the one.
Recently, we were designated as a certified autism center through the International Board of Credentialing and Continuing Education Standards. We're really proud to have this certification here, being the first theme park in the world. According to the IBCCES, 1 in 64 children are diagnosed annually with ASD. It's important that our team members understand and are better equipped to be able to welcome those guests into our park.
If you find a place like this that they're understanding and are willing to accommodate, it could be the difference between a family having to cut a vacation short or actually staying and enjoying the trip as a family.
80% of our staff is required to go through training and will retrain every 2 years. Training in the area of communication, social motor skills, sensory awareness.
There's a lot of sensory bombardment that our kids endure when they go to a place like this, whether it's the noise or the crowds or waiting in line.
We have headphones that are quieting headphones that are available. We have quiet rooms, a place to be able to just step aside and get away from the stimulus in the park. We do have a whole pre-planning website out there.
What it looks like to stand in line, or what they're going to have to do to order lunch, so the family can prepare the individual beforehand. That's important for our guys.
You're welcome.
He loves Disney, Busch Gardens. We're going down there next week. My son is 14 now, and he should be beyond Sesame Place, but he still loves it because what he's really drawn to is the environment and the love and the acceptance. And I'll never steer him away from that. I'll come here when he's 50 because I see what joy it brings to him.
All right, sounds good. All right, here's a live look outside. As you can see right there in the background, there is still some lightning and thunder that's still in the area. We're going to have one final look at your headlines as well as your forecast. It includes a weekend when we come back. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast right here on ABC7.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
Hunger is a growing problem in our area, and a huge number of Suncoast residents are suffering in silence.
It could be your coworker,
Your child's classmate.
or your friend fighting to secure their next meal. But you can help.
ABC7 is partnering with local organizations to help feed the Suncoast.
Go to mysuncoast.com/hunger to join the fight. Help us.
Help the hungry.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more.
Welcome back. It is 5:54, and here are some of the top stories that we've been following for you on the Suncoast today. First, the 5th annual Lionfish Derby gets underway today, hosted by Moat Marine. Divers are going to harvest the invasive species, and then top local chefs will serve it up to the public. Plus, we're in the thick of summer, and you know what that means. It is hot, too hot to leave your pets in the car while you run errands, even if it's just for a few minutes. And it is your chance to get to know the Sarasota Police a little better. They're hosting Custard with a Cop tomorrow from noon until 3 at the Culvers on University Parkway. But first, let's head over to John Scalzi for one final look at the forecast and the latest on Beryl that is out in the Atlantic right now.
Yeah, well, that one is going to meander out there for several days. Really not going to be a big issue for us. However, notable, it is the first hurricane of the Atlantic season. For us, we've got a big cluster of storms just off the Gulf Coast, about 20 miles or so offshore. So it's of notice for mariners, and you may see the lightning pops from shore, but that really isn't going to bother us. We will see a west wind pattern start to develop today. That means we'll see a few morning coastal showers develop along our coastline about, I'd say, between 10 and noon. And then those showers will move inland thereafter and drift farther away from the coast. Those are your updates you can take with you. More coming up in a few.
All right, thank you so much, John. Well, a full hour of news and more continues. We're going to bring you the latest weather as it goes, as well as your traffic to check on your morning commute. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast. A full hour is straight ahead right here on ABC 7.